celebrity deaths, Hollywood tragedies, and golden age icons who died young. These vintage Hollywood mysteries reveal a darker truth behind the glamour. From classic actors lost in accidents to unexplained celebrity deaths, we're uncovering 20 mid-century stars with heartbreaking fates. Welcome to Part 1. Few tragic celebrity stories define Hollywood's darkest tragedies, like James Dean. Rising in the early 1950s, the tail end of the golden age of Hollywood, Dean became the face of a new kind of acting, raw, emotional, and deeply human. With films like Rebel Without a Cause, he captured the spirit of a generation, quickly becoming one of the most influential classic Hollywood icons of his time. On September 30th, 1955, Dean's life came to a sudden end. While driving his Porsche 550 Spider, he collided with another vehicle on a California highway. The crash was instant and fatal. At just 24, he became one of the most defining examples of classic actors who died young in accidents and famous stars who died unexpectedly. His untimely passing didn't just shock Hollywood, it created a myth. Stories about the cursed car and lingering questions about the crash turned his death into one of the most talked about old Hollywood mysteries. Even today, his legacy lives on as one of the most powerful examples of Hollywood legends lost too soon. James Dean didn't just die young, he became eternal. But this wasn't the only tragedy to shake Hollywood. If James Dean represented rebellion, the American Hollywood actress Marilyn Monroe represented vulnerability hidden behind perfection. As one of the most recognizable classic Hollywood icons, Monroe's image defined an era, but her reality told a very different story. By the early 1960s, Monroe was struggling. Despite global fame, she faced personal challenges, including mental health struggles and dependence on prescription medications. Her life became a reflection of the darker side of mid-century Hollywood stars with tragic endings. In August 1962, Monroe was found dead in her home. Officially ruled an overdose, her death immediately sparked speculation. Was it accidental, intentional, or something more mysterious? To this day, her case remains one of the most famous unexplained celebrity deaths from old Hollywood. Her sudden death shocked the world, cementing her legacy as one of the most tragic celebrities who died from overdoses in the 20th century. But more than that, it revealed the immense pressure placed on women in Hollywood during that era. Even now, people continue to ask, what really happened to Marilyn Monroe? A question that keeps her story alive as one of Hollywood's most enduring mysteries. But the tragedies would continue. Bruce Lee wasn't just a Hollywood star, he was a global phenomenon. He was a revolution. At a time when Asian actors were often sidelined in Hollywood, Lee broke barriers with a presence that was impossible to ignore. His films didn't just entertain, they redefined action cinema, blending philosophy, discipline, and explosive physicality. He quickly became one of the most influential mid-century Hollywood stars, and a global icon whose impact stretched far beyond film. But behind the strength and confidence was a man pushing himself to the absolute limit. Lee trained relentlessly, worked obsessively, and carried the pressure of representing an entire culture on the world stage. By 1973, his career was reaching unprecedented heights, with Enter the Dragon poised to make him an international superstar. Then, without warning, everything stopped. On July 20th, 1973, Bruce Lee died suddenly in Hong Kong. The official cause was cerebral edema, brain swelling, but the circumstances surrounding his sudden death immediately raised questions. Reports of a reaction to medication, heat exhaustion, and even more unusual theories began circulating, placing his passing among the most debated, unexplained celebrity deaths from old Hollywood. To this day, fans still ask, what really happened to Bruce Lee? His tragic final moments cut short a legacy that was only just beginning to unfold globally. And in doing so, he became one of the most powerful examples of Hollywood legends lost too soon, a figure whose mystery only deepened his myth. Rest in peace, Bruce Lee. And our next case is just as tragic. American actress Judy Garland's voice was timeless, but her life was anything but easy. Rising to fame as a teenager in The Wizard of Oz, she quickly became one of the most beloved classic Hollywood icons. But behind that iconic image was a life shaped by intense studio control, exhausting schedules, and pressures that began far too young. From the very beginning, Garland was subjected to a system that demanded perfection at any cost. Studio executives tightly controlled her weight, appearance, and even her energy levels, often through prescribed medications. This early exposure would lead to a lifelong dependency that followed her through adulthood. By the late 1960s, Garland was still performing, still adored, but physically and emotionally exhausted. Her story had become one of the most heartbreaking examples of mid-century Hollywood stars with tragic endings and real stories behind early celebrity deaths. In 1969, she died from an accidental overdose at just 47 years old. Her untimely passing sent shockwaves through the entertainment world, not just because of her fame, but because of what it revealed. Garland's death exposed the darker reality behind Golden Age Hollywood, a system that often pushed its brightest stars beyond their limits. Even decades later, her life remains a powerful reminder of the human cost behind classic Hollywood tragedies and untimely deaths. And our next story takes us to a rising American Hollywood actress, who many believe may have met with foul play, leading to her untimely demise. Hollywood heartthrob Natalie Wood grew up in front of the camera, practically aging in real time on the silver screen. She went from a wide-eyed child star to one of Hollywood's most respected and sought-after actresses, all under the constant glow of studio lights and public attention. With landmark films like Rebel Without a Cause, West Side Story, and Splendor in the Grass, she didn't just act in classic movies, she helped define them. Her face and performances became a bridge between the glamour of Golden Age Hollywood and the more modern, emotionally raw era of filmmaking that followed. But in 1981, her life took a dark, sudden, and deeply mysterious turn. While on a yacht off the coast of California near Catalina Island, Natalie disappeared during the night. The boat was supposed to be a place for relaxation, a quiet getaway with her husband, actor Robert Wagner, and a few others. Instead, it became the setting of one of Hollywood's most haunting real-life dramas. Hours after anyone realized she was missing, her body was found floating in the water, dressed in a nightgown, socks, and a jacket. What could have been written off as a tragic accident at sea quickly shifted into something far more unsettling, one of old Hollywood's most chilling and enduring mysteries. From the very beginning, the story didn't quite add up. Conflicting accounts from those on board the yacht, including Wagner and actor Christopher Walken, raised more questions than answers. Some said there had been an argument. Others claimed they heard shouting or a struggle. The dinghy was found away from the boat, and theories started flying. Had she tried to leave the yacht? Had she slipped while trying to secure something on deck? Why did no one seem to know exactly what happened in those crucial moments? Unanswered questions, changing testimonies, and multiple re-examinations of the case over the years have kept her story alive in the public eye. The investigation was initially closed as an accidental drowning, but decades later, the case was reopened, and her cause of death was changed from accidental to drowning and other undetermined factors. That phrase alone has fueled endless speculation. Was it an accident? A misstep in the dark? A drunken fall? Or was there something more? Something that's never been fully brought to light? Her death remains one of the most talked about early Hollywood death cases, often mentioned alongside other famous stars who died unexpectedly and under mysterious circumstances. Every few years, new details, witness statements, or reinterpreted evidence bubble back into the headlines, pulling Natalie's story out of the past and right back into modern conversation. Documentaries, books, podcasts, and YouTube deep dives all keep revisiting the night she died, trying to piece together a puzzle that, even now, refuses to fit neatly. A little-known fact: before her death, Natalie Wood had a well-known fear of dark, open water, reportedly stemming from a prediction made when she was a child that she would die in dark water. That eerie detail has only added to the sense of unease around her final hours and made her story feel almost like a tragic script Hollywood would have written. Except this time, it was real. Natalie Wood's story isn't just tragic, it's unresolved. It sits at the intersection of fame, mystery, and human vulnerability. A reminder that even the brightest stars can leave behind shadows that never fully fade. James Dean, Marilyn Monroe, Bruce Lee, Judy Garland, Natalie Wood. These 5 weren't just celebrity deaths. They were moments that reshaped Hollywood forever. And there are 15 more yet to come in our 4-part series. From Golden Age celebrities who died before 50 to mid-century Hollywood stars with tragic endings. These stories remind us that fame often comes with a hidden cost. But while their lives were cut short, their legacies continue to inspire generations. Subscribe for more deep dives into Hollywood's darkest tragedies, unexplained celebrity deaths, and classic stars gone too soon. Because in Hollywood, some stories never truly end.